Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another, you guessed it, Red Room review. This was dropped off at my front doorstep by a mysterious benefactor, that being Miguel and Sylvia. I had no idea this was coming, but as soon as I opened it, I knew I instantly had to burn through this as quick as possible, being that it is a part of their ever-expanding library and based on the red/micro-red system. This was a pretty easy read when it came to character construction and things like that, but I'm going to read the back blurb. Bear with me. In the hidden corners of today's world, the Veiled Syndicate pulls strings from the shadows, shaping events and burying truths. You're now part of this secretive group, embedded within government ranks tasked with maintaining order and concealing the supernatural forces lurking beneath daily life. With cutting-edge technology, powerful weaponry, and vast resources at your disposal, you will join the ranks of the Syndicate's elite agents sworn to protect the organization's interests and uphold its mysterious agenda. Welcome to the Veiled Syndicate. May your wits and skills guide you through the treacherous path that lies ahead. If you, like myself, are or were or still are fans of things like Millennium, the X-Files, Erie, Indiana, Ancient Aliens, the Y-Files, Supernatural, etc., this is going to be right up your alley. And I know there are other games, Dark Conspiracy and a few others out there that are really hard to come by, with an ever-shrinking group of interested players, D&D and those sorts of games being the 800-pound gorilla in every game store. For me, this is an easy fill for that void of wanting to play games like the aforementioned TV shows and movies that were vastly popular growing up for me. And I still watch some of those shows on occasion. I'm getting ready to watch Twin Peaks for the first time next week, hopefully, which also I think would be influenced or was an influence to this game. It scratches a whole lot of itches at a really easy buy-in price with a very easy system to learn. My Savage Swords players would easily be able to, drop into this game were it on my docket of games to play in the next 6 months. But who knows, after watching Twin Peaks and maybe going back over the X-Files and whatnot, I might be interested in running this game, or definitely if it opened up in an early morning slot, I would jump right on it. For those of you who are familiar with the Red system, it's basic D&D stats, 3d6 down the line, or however you like, depending on your GM's outlook on the kinds of characters that he wants, when it comes to stats. You really don't need to have a lot of high stats in this game. Just one or two in the right place and you're good to go. It has the usual, your con or your health score, or I think it's your toughness score. Yeah, is your hit points plus or minus, not minus, but plus an optional D6 or D4 here or there, depending on the archetype you pick. This is actually a really cut down version of all the other Red games that I've looked at. The whole core book with everything, including adversaries and agents and enemies, and a huge section on game master's guidance and things like that, make it really easy to learn the system. I want to say close to half the book is players keep out. You don't need to be reading this stuff, if not more than that. I think I think getting to about the magic and maybe a little bit further, to about page 104, the players have no need to go any further. And it has attribute tests. Roll under your stat uh, to make strength tests, things like that, or a skill check. You roll your 20-sided die plus your skill level plus your stat bonus plus or minus incidental numbers, trying to hit a target number between 10 and 30 depending on how difficult the task is, including spells and psionics, which are all covered in here. I really like the way Miguel made the spell system really, really simple. Only a few pages with your basic types of spells, and then the player and the GM could work together, making different versions of, like, the healing spell or the influence spell or a protection spell, based on situations, and then coming up with a few details, and boom, you've got a brand new spell. That way all the spells are unique to each campaign. Same with the psionics. They're a little bit more detailed and codified, but they're really simple. You roll your 20-sided die plus a bonus number to hit a target number, easy peasy. Your archetypes give you a handful of skills plus a bonus selection of skills depending on your primary stat. If it's high enough, you'll get maybe up to 4 extra skills. And there aren't a lot of skills because there aren't a lot of skills necessary, because the regular mundane stuff you already assume to be able to do, like any proper role-playing game. There's no need to roll to drive a car in the modern age, unless you're being chased or chasing someone or using your car as a vehicle, things like that. And a lot of the skills can cover a variety of actual individual skills. There's also specializing in certain aspects of a skill, but the real brilliance of this game is from page 104 on, with the various government organizations, the multiple angles at which you could go at the different conspiracies, whether it's aliens, the supernatural, big government, bad guys, what have you. Keeping the players in the dark as long as possible is obviously the key to a great game of Conspiracy Files. The overall joy you could get out of this book is well worth the price of admission. Miguel just nailed this without being too long-winded. Everything is concise as always, but well researched. The art believes to be, I think it's a lot of stock art, no more AI art for these guys. And I don't even remember this one coming out or being advertised. I don't know how I missed it, because this is definitely up my alley. Definitely something that conspiracy theories in general, I've been on the edge of that since I was 10 years old, starting with the Chariots of the Gods on forward throughout my life. The adversaries, well documented. I want to say like 9 or 12 different alien races with everything you need to know. Other adversaries like mundane animals, on to cryptids, everything you can possibly imagine, all statted out with a little bit of info to help you if you're not familiar with them. On to human adversaries, hired killers, professors, mercenaries, that sort of thing, and on to supernatural foes of all shapes and sizes. There could be more, but because of the way they're done, you could easily, scratch the name out and throw something else on there, and you're kind of good to go. Then the Veil Syndicate, which is a mysterious, shadowy organization working behind the scenes to keep normal folks from uncovering, learning the true whatever it is that you as the GM decide to run as the world. That's the great thing about this. It's not this is the way it is, this is real, this isn't. It's like anything could be fluid and up to interpretation by the GM. Anything at any given time could be just another smoke screen to hide the real truth, and the players have various options. They could already start working for the Veiled Syndicate, having been there for a while, or I think more enjoyably so, start out as a regular cop or normal Joe Schmuckatelli that just happens onto some supernatural sci-fi cryptid alien conspiracy and finds a little bit of evidence, starts pulling on the threads, and more information starts coming until eventually they, are scooped up by the Veil Syndicate. Or maybe not. Maybe they think they're working for the Veil Syndicate the whole time, and they're actually working for the bad guys, trying to make their evil things a reality. There's just so much to be had from this without anything being carved in stone like so many other games of this nature. It leaves it all up to you, so that every game is uniquely yours and your game master's own creation. I really, I'm really grateful that Miguel sent this to me. I wish I would have paid for it, even though I really can't think of anything bad to say about it, except I'm not a fan of the paper quality. It's okay, it's not bad. I just like a little bit, nicer quality paper. I don't, as you guys know, I don't like the role of the target number to acquire gadgets and equipment and things like that. I like a price list, but because this game can be run from anywhere to the roaring 20s, maybe even sooner or earlier, all the way up into the 2020s or beyond if you want. This is one of the few instances where the acquisition number for gear and equipment makes perfect sense, because you don't want to have to spend a week coming up with a currency and a price list for everything that you might need. The players, how much is a pack of cigarettes, how much is a gallon of gas, that kind of is not needed in a game like this. In other games, I would argue for the price list, but here you don't need it. And most of the numbers are actually really quite attainable. I was kind of amazed how easy it was to get an invisibility bracelet for your average guy who could have access to something like that. I think the target number is 15 or so. That's not a real difficult number to hit with a couple of pluses here or there, depending on your perks and your background, etc. So all in all, I think this is a great game. I don't know how much it actually books for. I should have looked that up, but I'm sure it's about $25-30 tops for a 200-page book that it's all you need. If you want to run the X-Files, Fringe, Supernatural, even a kid game like Stranger Things or Erie, Indiana, you could do it. You'd have to knock some things down a little, make things a little easier, but all in all, it's all doable with very little muss and fuss. There's character sheet in the back. It would have been nice to have a world map with some info on that. Kind of like the old Chill game, which you could easily play that kind of game as well. Monster Hunter of the Week kind of thing. I really can't see what else you would need for a game like this. You get it all under two covers, and you're not looking for an out of print game that its time has come and gone. But if you're into something like that, you're in the mood for something like that, then I highly recommend this game for you. Now I just got to find some willing pawns to subject themselves to some of my darker conspiracy theory ideas. But that's what I've got for you this morning. As we go into the weekend, I hope you'll enjoy this video and whatever your weekend holds for you. Keep your eyes open and watch your six, because you never know what might be sneaking up on you. Until then, folks, have yourself a great weekend. Love you, and as always, happy trails.